All right, so I'm going to use this as my final design. All right. So when you make the decision between you and I, which one's your final, a couple things that I would do, and some of my kids in Second Bell are actually using pens. What I would do, first thing, is I would go through and I would darken up on my pencil lines because you guys are going to be tracing this single piece of paper multiple times. So you want to be able to see the letters really well. I had a couple of kids who actually used like a black pen and traced over their letters. So if you feel really confident about not messing up with pen, you guys can go ahead and use a pen on there. I wouldn't use like a Sharpie marker because that tends to be, the lines can be kind of too thick. So you want something kind of like with a skinnier ultra point, okay? But darken up your letters first. So before I do anything with this though, first thing you're going to do, if you guys look in your project packets, your new last page in your project packet should say Final Sketch at the top, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take that, and if you notice I have tape on the bottom here and on the two sides, and that's for a reason. So we're going to take this final sketch and I'm going to give you guys a piece of tag board. So this tag board is just really heavy paper. This is going to stand up to the paint much, much better than like just regular paper. So if you guys noticed on those color wheels, your paper probably buckled a little bit when you start painting on top of it. This tag board is going to stand up to that a lot better. So I'm going to take my final sketch here and I'm actually going to flip it over and I am going to tape it on here so that it's kind of, I'd say, about an inch away from the top of my tag board. And I'm looking at just the circle. So I want that circle about an inch away from the top of the tag board. And the reason why is because if you are one of those people that wants your letters to go past the circle, you need to give yourself space to do that. Okay, so if you put your circle way too high on this tag board, you're going to cut off that option. Okay, so I got it about an inch away. If you have really tall letters that are coming off that circle, that's fine. You may want to put your circle more in the middle of your tag board, and that's okay. So after I tape that on there, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just very simply going to trace the circle and those two lines, so then I've got that, okay? And you want to try to make sure that you do it as nice and neat as possible because, again, this project's all about being real nice and neat, so it's very, very technical. So if you're one of those people that tends to be kind of sloppy, you got to take your time, slow down so you can make everything look really nice and neat. If you want to, you can use a ruler for those lines. That's fine. I did not. You can kind of tell that I did it. So after you do that, then you're ready to go back and deal with this. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your design. Again, make your letters darker. I would just go ahead and make them darker. Make sure you're thickening up any thin shapes. So again, if any shape you're kind of looking at and you're like, gosh, I don't know if I can paint inside that small shape, I would thicken it up. Even if you're not sure, I would just thicken it up. So then what I'm going to do, if you notice, I drew these lines. I just extended those lines. I'm actually going to cut this out. And when you do this, you want to cut it out really nice and neat. Again, you don't want to make a mistake on this step because it could result in you having to start over again. This is a very technical project, though. So I'm just going to cut this out, and basically what I'm going to have is 1/4 of my page here. Scissors are just located in the drawer over there. It says scissors. So now I have this, okay? So then the next step is I'm going to use this to trace my design onto the circle. I'm going to need to make sure that this paper does not slip while I'm tracing, so I'm going to take 2 small pieces of tape, just very small like this. Because I'm going to be reusing this tape and because I'm going to be moving it a lot, I want to take some of this sticky off the tape. All I do to do that, guys, is I stick it on my jeans, okay? I just stick it on my jeans because I wear black a lot, and lint looks bad on black clothes. So this takes care of that, and it saves my project. So I just kind of take this, pick up all the lint. If you have a sweater on or sweatshirt, you're you're in good shape. So it takes some of that sticky off so that now this tape isn't going to rip my paper when I remove it. And then what I'm going to do, basically I'm going to flip this board over. And this is going to be really hard for me to do because I'm not on a light box. So this is definitely something that you need a light box for. I'm going to take this, line it up so again it's perfect. I hate to use that word, but I have to on this project. It's lined up perfectly. I'm going to tape that on there like that, and then with a light box, I'm going to trace that design in this first wedge right here. And then to do the next one, I'll do another demo for that. But you just simply want to get that design traced on there. So that's it. And again, if you don't have access to a light box, you'll notice I don't have enough for everybody. You can use Windows. So Windows work perfectly fine. So that's it.